The diplomatic chamber aboard the Zephyrus station hummed with tension. Avery stood at the center of the semicircular room, surrounded by representatives from 7 different alien species. The Crithian ambassador, a towering being of crystalline structure, leaned forward with what could only be described as barely contained hostility. "Your species has no place in the Galactic Council," the Crithian hissed, its voice like glass scraping against metal. "Humans are weak, fragile. You evolved on a death world, yet you lack the basic physiology to survive even standard galactic gravity without your primitive augmentations." Avery's jaw tightened. The gravity band on her shoulder, a sleek metallic device that wrapped around her upper arm and collarbone, pulsed with a soft blue light. It was standard issue for humans venturing into galactic space, where the baseline gravity was 2.3 times Earth standard. Without it, a human would be crushed under their own weight within minutes. "We've contributed more technological advances in the last decade than your empire has in 3 centuries, Avery replied, her voice steady despite the weight pressing down on her chest. Even with the gravity band compensating, she could feel the strain. The Vraxian delegate, a serpentine creature with 6 arms, laughed, a sound like rattling stones. "Technology means nothing without the strength to enforce it. Your kind cannot even stand properly in civilized space." James watched from the observation deck above, his hands pressed against the transparent barrier. He'd been Avery's partner for 5 years, through first contact missions and deep space explorations. He knew that look in her eyes. She was done talking. "You want to see human strength?" Avery's voice cut through the chamber like a blade. Her hand moved to the gravity band on her shoulder. The room fell silent. Every alien present knew what that gesture meant. No human had ever removed their gravity band in standard galactic conditions. The medical consequences alone would be catastrophic. "Avery, don't." James's voice crackled through her earpiece, but she'd already muted it. "You think we're weak because we need assistance to function in your environment," Avery continued, her fingers hovering over the release mechanism. "You think evolution on a death world made us fragile. You have no idea what it actually means." The Crithian ambassador straightened, its crystalline body refracting the chamber's lights into rainbow patterns. "You would not dare. The gravity would crush your skeletal structure within." The click of the gravity band's release echoed through the chamber. For a moment, nothing happened. Then Avery's knees buckled slightly as the full weight of 2.3 Earth gravities slammed into her body. The aliens watched, waiting for her to collapse, to cry out, to prove their point about human weakness. Instead, Avery straightened. Her muscles, trained under Earth's gravity, suddenly found themselves working at nearly triple capacity. Every fiber, every tendon, every bone that had evolved to carry her weight on a planet with relentless gravitational pull now operated with devastating efficiency. She took a step forward. The floor trembled. The Vraxian delegate recoiled, its 6 arms pulling back defensively. Avery's second step cracked the polished stone beneath her boot. The vibration spread through the chamber, causing several of the lighter gravity species to stumble. "Do you understand now?" Avery's voice was strained but powerful. Sweat beaded on her forehead, not from weakness, but from the sheer effort of controlling her own strength. "This is what you call weakness. This is what humans endure every single day of our lives." James stared in awe from above. He'd read the theoretical papers, the studies done by xenobiologists about human potential in standard gravity without compensation. But theory was nothing compared to watching Avery move through the room like a force of nature. The Crithian ambassador backed away as Avery approached. For the first time in the 3 hours of negotiations, fear flickered across its crystalline features. This human, this supposedly fragile creature, was moving with a power that defied everything they understood about physics and biology. "Your species evolved in gravity barely 40% of galactic standard," Avery continued, each word punctuated by another heavy step that sent tremors through the floor. "The Vraxians, 55%. The Tellurians, 63%. Humans? We evolved at 100% of what we experience right now. This crushing weight you consider standard? This is our training ground." She reached the Crithian ambassador and stopped inches away. At her full height, she barely reached its mid-torso, but the alien towered backward nonetheless. Avery extended her hand, slowly, carefully, and placed it against the chamber's central pillar, a solid column of compressed metal alloys designed to support the entire station's structural integrity. Her fingers dug into the metal. Not deeply, but enough. Enough to leave impressions. Enough to prove a point. The room erupted in shocked murmurs and alarmed chitters. The Galactic Council representatives had never witnessed anything like this. They dismissed humans as clever but physically inferior, a species that had only reached the stars through ingenuity rather than natural capability. They had been catastrophically wrong. Every human ship in your fleet, Avery said, her breathing now labored but her voice unwavering. Every human soldier, every human engineer, they all trained under this same gravity. When you see us wearing these bands, you're not seeing us at our weakest. You're seeing us handicapped down to your level. James's voice crackled in her ear again. Avery, your heart rate is dangerous. You need to put the band back on. She had maybe 30 seconds left before the strain became genuinely life-threatening. But 30 seconds was enough. So when you question whether humanity deserves a place in the Galactic Council, Avery concluded, reaching for her gravity band, remember this moment. Remember that we choose to limit ourselves in your presence. We choose cooperation over domination. But never, ever mistake our restraint for weakness. She reattached the gravity band. The blue light pulsed, and immediately the crushing weight lifted. Avery's shoulders relaxed, her breathing eased, and she stood normally once more. A picture of casual grace that now carried an entirely different meaning. The silence in the chamber was absolute. Finally, the Tellurian observer, an elder who had remained quiet throughout the proceedings, spoke in a whisper that carried through the room. I move to grant humanity full council membership with immediate effect. All in favor. 7 hands, claws, and appendages rose in unison as Avery walked toward the exit. James met her at the doorway, a mixture of pride and concern on his face. That was incredibly stupid and incredibly badass, he said quietly. Avery grinned, though her legs trembled slightly from the exertion. Sometimes you have to show them what humanity really means. We didn't conquer a death world by being weak. We thrived on it. Behind them, the Galactic Council representatives were already transmitting reports back to their home worlds. The message was clear. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, and the galaxy would never be the same. The humans, it turned out, had always been warriors. They'd just been fighting gravity all along.